Ever been stuck in traffic? Like really stuck?
Oh, tell me about it.
And some jerk cuts you off.
Yeah.
Then 2 seconds later, they get pulled over by a cop.
Karma.
You feel that
Oh,
that tiny bit of satisfaction.
totally.
Today we're going deep on that feeling, that reaction we have to
Right.
other people's
When they mess up.
misfortunes. Like, is it wrong?
Yeah.
Should we feel bad?
Interesting question.
We're looking at a podcast episode
Okay.
called Why Should We Never Rejoice in the Misfortune of Others?
Never. That's a strong statement.
Right. Like, really? Never.
I mean, some people.
What's so fascinating is that this isn't just some random human thing.
No.
This has a name.
It does.
It's called Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
It's a German word
Yeah, it's a great word.
for taking pleasure
When someone else
in other people's pain.
trips and falls, metaphorically or literally.
Exactly.
It's universal,
Schadenfreude. You see it in kids?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, yeah, from a young age. Little kids, they'll laugh if someone
They're down 7
drops their ice cream cone or something. It's just,
I never thought about it like that.
it's fascinating.
This podcast, though, it argues that it's more than just a feeling,
Deeper, right.
that it goes against some, like, spiritual calling.
Okay, getting into the spiritual side of things.
Yeah, so is it just about being nice, or is there something more?
Well, the podcast really digs into how it goes against, like, God's teachings,
Interesting.
love and compassion and all that.
But isn't there a difference between
Oh, absolutely.
someone getting what they deserve
Like true justice.
versus someone just having bad luck?
Yeah, totally different, right?
So where's the line?
That's a question I've wrestled with too,
Yeah.
It's tricky.
It's like, okay, what about when someone does something truly awful?
Uh-huh.
Is it wrong to feel a little bit of vindication or even relief?
Yeah, that they got caught or...
Yeah, like they've been brought to justice.
It's tough, right? Our human sense of justice really wants to see bad deeds punished.
Exactly.
But the podcast brings up this verse from Matthew.
Okay.
Matthew 5.45. It says, "He makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good and sends rain on the just and the unjust."
So God doesn't play favorites?
Nope. It's like universal love no matter what you've done.
Wow, so we're supposed to try to see things from that bigger perspective.
Exactly. It's not just about being nice, but about aligning ourselves with how God sees the world.
That's hard, especially when you've been wronged.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
But there's this other verse, Proverbs 24.1718.
Okay.
It's like a straight up warning, don't celebrate when someone falls.
Interesting.
It says that it displeases God because it messes with his plan.
So it's not just about us feeling good or bad.
It's bigger than that.
We're messing with something bigger.
It's about recognizing that God is the ultimate judge.
Wow. This is heavy stuff.
Deep stuff, right?
What about, like, the psychology of it all?
Okay, yeah.
What's going on inside of us when we feel Schadenfreude?
Well, the podcast digs into that, too.
Okay.
It talks about pride being at the root of it.
Pride, really?
It's often subtle, It's that little voice that says, well, at least I'm not messing up like that.
Oh, I see. Like we feel superior.
Exactly. And that's dangerous territory.
Right.
Because we're all flawed, right? We've
Yeah.
all messed up.
It's perfect.
And Isaiah 64.6 reminds us of that. It says, all our righteous acts are like filthy rags.
Filthy rags. That's harsh.
It's humbling, for sure.
It really puts things in perspective.
It reminds us that we all need God's grace.
Okay, so we know what we shouldn't do,
Right.
but what are we supposed to do instead?
Well, the podcast talks about being imitators of God.
Okay,
It's about trying to see people the way he sees them.
but how do we do that practically?
It starts with remembering Jesus.
Okay,
He loved his enemies.
even when they were, like, crucifying him?
Yeah, even then.
Wow.
And Luke 6.2728 gives us some pretty radical instructions.
Okay, what does it say?
It says to love your enemies, do good to them, bless them, and pray for them.
That's a lot.
It's a high bar for sure.
It's easy to get caught up in our own pain,
Absolutely, we're human. But we're called to something higher.
It's like we're called to break the cycle.
Exactly. And there's this powerful image in Proverbs 25.2122.
Okay.
It talks about showing kindness to an enemy being like heaping coals of fire on their head.
Coals of fire.
It's not about revenge. It's about the intense power of compassion. It's about doing good even when it's really, really hard.
Okay, so just to recap.
Yeah.
This natural feeling we have, Schadenfreude,
Uh-huh.
it goes against a deeper spiritual truth.
Okay.
God loves everyone, even those who seem like they deserve bad things.
That's right.
And when we get caught up in their failures,
Yeah.
we're not only judging them,
Mm-hmm.
but we're also revealing a bit of pride within ourselves.
Exactly.
And we're messing with God's plan.
Powerful stuff.
So we're called to be more like God, to show kindness and compassion, especially to those who've hurt us.
It's a journey, for sure, but it's worth striving for.
This whole conversation's got me thinking.
Uh-huh.
If God's love is so powerful,
Yeah.
why doesn't it always seem to win in the world? Like, why do good people still face so much hardship and struggle?
That's a deep question.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer.
Me neither. It's something I'm still wrestling with.
It's a mystery.
It is. What do you think?
I don't know. That's a lot to think about.
Lots to ponder.
It makes you wonder.
It does. It does.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
See you next time.
Bye.